Show is so good and it's so much fun. And when you get a script like this, you must think that I have to do this, right?
Oh, absolutely. I feel like at first when I got the script, I kind of was like, I didn't really know how real it was. And I was like, I mean, are they like, is this just to look at or are they actually considering me for something? And when I met with the team, they were just like so incredible. And they're like, no, like, we want you a part of this story. And I was like, but I'm not really like the type. And they were like, that's exactly why. And so just being a part of that, like, that thought process and that team was just amazing. So yeah, it was a no-brainer.
I love it. Well, in filming this, was there a favorite day or scene or time that you think you'll always take with you, where you're just kind of looking around, going, "Wow, I get paid for this."
I feel like okay, the I get paid for this moment was definitely when we were shooting the underwater scene
Hmm.
because I had learned how to free dive from like a dive team in the south of France. And so, we took this little boat out to another boat, out to like a little piece of open water. And there was like two divers, I mean, more than that, like everyone was out in the water. There's a little buoy, and I knew exactly what to do. And they're like out pulling me, with all of my clothes on. And then they're like, whenever you're ready. And so I was like doing the breathing techniques, then pulling myself down, and then just like panicking and swimming like in the scene. And for me, that was definitely one moment of just being like, wow, this is a crazy job that I get to do this. So it was wild. It was like a pinch me moment, but I love it.
That's so cool. Well, yeah, and of course, a lot of people look up to, what you do, and in that profession is just a little crazy to get into. But what advice would you give to somebody that wants to follow in your footsteps?
Oh my gosh, do it as soon
Yeah.
as possible.
Mhm.
Like learn everything that you can. Um and just like fully give yourself over to it. I think um something that I realized is like some of the most talented people, some of the most talented actors that I've ever worked with or I've ever met are somehow the people who get dissuaded to do it. Um, and so I think if it's something that you want to do, if you want to act, if you want to make film, you have to commit 100% and give yourself like fully over to it and trust that it may happen tomorrow, it may happen in a year, 5 years, 3 years, 10, whatever. Um, but you just have to believe in what you want to say and your perspective, and just trust. Because I think that's exactly what I've had to do. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you've got a great mindset about it, and part of that is what we talk about that on the show is that success mindset. Is there something that you tell yourself that kind of keeps you going even when things are tough, or the days are long, or you're stuck in the water being dragged in?
When the days, well, there's like two parts. It's like on set when maybe you possibly get stressed out or you're like maybe irritated, maybe something isn't working that you're doing, you're trying to figure out. Is just like for me sometimes I would just like take a moment and relax and like meditate on it and just be like, God, I'm like so blessed to be doing what I do and to be so passionate about the work I want to do. So to just like have gratitude, and then usually it's like you never have like a bad day is what my dad always says. You can have a bad minute, a moment, but never let it affect your entire day. And then I think when I'm, not on set and I'm just like living in, the real world or trying to find, another piece of work that I'm really passionate about or maybe like struggling in that process. It's just again, it's like sitting down and just having gratitude. I'm alive, I'm breathing, I'm able, I'm conscious, and that is like enough of a blessing. And everything always
Yeah,
works out in
beautiful.
the end. Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. Well, for the last thing, with the show, there's a lot being said amongst the great story here. What do you hoping people will take away or talk about besides, oh, this is a fun show to watch?
Well, I mean, great question. I feel like one of the major like driving forces of our show is just like this question about morality and the effects that your choices have on others, whether it be immediately around you or like globally, what what choices can we make today that positively affect others or negatively affect others? So I think that's one. But then also just like the concept of surveillance and
Mhm.
you know, the development of surveillance and how we're all surveilled. And I think also for me, even when I originally like read the script, it was like I didn't know that a prime finder actually exists in the real
Mhm.
world, or at least people are trying to make one. And so that for me kind of like launched, all of these other questions of like, well, who's said they have it, who's trying to develop it, and not out of like paranoia, but rather just awareness. And I think that's also another concept that our show, you know, studies or poses is just this idea of like be aware of what's out in the
Mhm.
world. So yeah.
Yeah, well said.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being with us. It's an absolute pleasure. Really enjoyed the show, and tell everybody check it out. Look forward to talking to you again very soon.
Absolutely. Inshallah. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you.